Hello and welcome to this channel. My name is Angelica. Today I have received some tomato plants from a private gardener. As I don't have electricity in this place at the moment, so all my plants died because I didn't have any home to have them in as well. But most things, solve in one way or the other. If there is a wish, there is. If there is a will, there is a way. That's how you say it, right? So I'm really pleased to have. I have 77 plants here that she was kind to sell to me for just 15 crowns each, like $1.50 or euro. So she was from Ukraine, and her mother sent her some seeds from Ukraine on red bell peppers. I'm quite excited about that one. And then there are some different tomato varieties, and I checked some of them up and they looked pretty productive. I have very little greenhouse space, so I need to choose varieties that can produce a lot, and still taste nice. So some varieties maybe produce 2 kilos, another variety maybe produce 6 kilos in the same square of the greenhouse. And I'm talking to the plants right now because it's so dry. When you start to put down some plants first, you can just give them a sip to make the roots establish. But once the roots have established, the plants are wanting to go somewhere to look for nutrients pretty fast. They want to spread out the roots. So they are looking in what direction to go. And they need also water. And the nutrients are dissolved with the water. So you gotta start watering around the area around the plant pretty soon, and when you do that, you also get all the weeds that's in between the plants, and then there is a race, like, does the weed grow faster than the plant or not? And I'm also tired of transplanting. Maybe in the future I will get myself a paper pot transplanter, maybe. It's not a machine that I have to fix. It seems pretty simple, but you need to buy this. It's like a machine. It's a tray and the tray consists of a paper band with like glue, and then you seed in that, and there's a machine for automatic seeding as well. And then you can just walk with it along a line, and it's planted straight, and this paper thing is unfolded. It's the glue like lossnar. And there is a specific distance between the pots, between the plants. So you can do this for most small things like beets and onions and salads, and then you save yourself the job to transplant on your knee. And you need like a weed-free soil, or you need a rock-free soil. You can get this by time if you work with your soil for a little bit, or if you have a little tiller or something, and you can do this when the bed is soft, and you want the bed to be pretty even as well. So anyway, I have now tucked in the beds here today. The salads are established, and I know that because I can see the new leaves are coming. Like when I transplanted it, I bought this kind, like where you have 20 in a small little box, and you tear them apart and the roots get destroyed. And when you transplant them, you usually lose a week or so because the leaves usually die, because there is not enough roots to support the leaves. So This is like the old leaf. I'm sure this will die. I don't mind. Here comes the new fresh leaves. So this is a sign to me that the roots has been established and it gets going. And that's also the time when I need to start watering a little bit in all directions. And you can here see the kickoff of the molla. It sprouts in a few days and it grows very fast. Sprouts faster than the salad seeds and many other seeds. And it's often found when you in anywhere where you put animal manure, like they really thrive in manure piles. So and it's one of the oldest plants that the Stone Age people, they ate the seeds from these. You can use the seeds actually from this plant in many ways, and you can eat the leaves. Like I had some tourists coming from, where was that from? Some Asian country. Was it Japan maybe? When I lived in Västerås, and they were like, I had a whole bed, a whole part of the farm field was full of this. Like it's like a green mat of this plant, and they were like, their eyes were popping out, and they were like, "Can we please harvest some?" And yeah, I was like, "Yeah, it's free." You sure? Is it free? And I was like, "Yeah, please take as much as you want to." And you can make it like, use it like spinach in a lasagna, or yeah, like a lasagna with, I even sold some to a restaurant, and they made like a wild green lasagna. I also picked this kishkål, whatever it's called, but no, I'm sorry, I don't know the English name. Pick some, but the thing is that it takes time and it costs money to pick. That's the thing, that's why it's expensive. The time is expensive in Sweden. So I asked the bed, how many times do you want me to go and get the water for you until you're satisfied here? And what was it? Yeah, 5 times. So I gave it 100 liters. Is that? Yeah, 100 liters here. And for them to establish, and then I asked, oh, for how many days are you gonna be satisfied with that? 5 days. All right. That's how I work with it. And then I asked this bed of beets, how many times do I have to get water for you to surely establish yourself? 3 times. Okay, then I do that. So, and then I'm now gonna leave them for 5 days here. That's how. You know, this is very unscientific, and it's a little bit fun because I come from a scientific background. I'm a biologist, and at one point I was strictly atheist, you know, and I was like, yeah, this is how it is, and this, if you can't see it, it's not there, and you have to calculate everything and blah 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 blah. But nowadays I think science is really like close-minded, like they lose a big dimension of information. They're missing out. And I think that if you tap into your inner wisdom and especially practice listening and believing, you have to be willing to be seen as a bit wicked by society and by people around you, because it's not, especially in Sweden, not really okay to be spiritual or believe in spirit, or we are so boxy and scientific in Sweden, like more than most countries. I think we are like one of the most secularized, do you say that, countries in the world. Most people, but more and more people believe in something. Anyway, I think whatever you do that works for you, if it works, that's fine, whatever way. This is my way. And I feel so free to be able to do things my way. I would hate if somebody told me like, you have to push this button exactly every 3rd hour because I say so, because I've calculated this. And and this is how it would be in most workplaces, I guess, because someone thought it out and someone has calculated it, and then I would, like, my whole system would scream, no, I feel different. I want to do it my way. That's why it's so hard if you're like a bit wicked. That's why it's so hard. It's going against, if sometimes you just know something and then nobody gets you. You're just like, oh, everybody think you're the strange one or obstinate or stubborn or whatever. But we'll see if it works my way or not. But I have to continue to do what I hear. You know, sometimes my problem is that I hear a lot of things and then maybe I don't do it. And maybe I want too much as well. So now what's happening is that the cafe is blowed off. There will be no cafe. And the reason is that I couldn't collaborate with this woman. We were just not aligned with each other in several ways. And I already invested so much time and money into the project, but nowadays I've learned anyway to shut things off quick if it feels wrong. It doesn't matter if it costs me something or whatever, it's not worth it. If it's time to leave, leave, you know? You know if it's time to leave. Maybe you think like, oh, I have to stay and fight for my rights. Why? It's just a lesson to be learned, and then there will be no, even, I think the place and the people in a place is aligned with each other also, so there would never be any good outcome staying in that place anyway. Staying in the environment or the building, I think it's like it all goes along, like the energy of a place and what's happening and the history of the place all goes along. And if I figure like, well, probably 10 more things around this situation would feel the same. So why would I want to fight to stay? You just have to realize like maybe there was a little hint somewhere that I didn't listen to that made me go so far, and that I went anyway. But sometimes things can look so good on the paper, seem so ideal in the mind, and then when you go and try that out, it seems like, oh shit, that was just like the idea. I knew somewhere in my gut that this was not gonna go well, but then you don't listen. That's the thing with listening, like it's nice when you listen to what you're this like really quick first thought that you get, like this instant notification you get. That's usually correct to me. Like maybe you get a hint like, oh, this will be a problem, but then your mind is like, no, I think I'm just overreacting, or think about all these aspects, and these are definitely more important than this little thing in my mind. Yeah, but then it usually turns out that that little hint was the whole thing that threw everything, like didn't make it sustainable long term, because there are most people in this world, they are what do you say, they're just doing things without questioning, and they put up with a lot of things because they're stuck in dependency of money wise or family bonds or social ideas about what you can do and what you cannot do, that in many ways restrict your way, where you want to go, what you want to do, how you want to do things, how you want to live. And never ever before at least in Sweden, have we had the freedom to choose so much that we can do today. We are so free in many ways, but in the search of the freedom we often become very lonely, like because before you find your crowd, before you find your place, you have to pull up the roots and continue. And I mean, you could question, would you ever find your crowd? Would you ever be good enough? Well, what I found is that through all the changes, which has been so hard and difficult, I have learned to be happy with the suffering. It's a bit of a cliche, but it's true. So many things has been difficult, but I feel more content, and I'm not. My fear has gone away for. Yeah. I don't know for what not. And that's freedom, I think. To like not be afraid of suffering. Then you can just, the choice is yours. Yeah. Okay. And so today my goal is, I would love to be here, but I'm gonna go, I've rented a truck and I will just move all my stuff again from the cafe to finish that, close that project, which means I'm gonna spend more time here if nothing else pops up. Maybe an even better place shows up, or I don't know. At least I have all my mind and all the things I wanted to create in my mind. All that is still like a little gift in my head, so I can just pull it out any time I want to in another location. Yeah. So, okay. Please enjoy your day. Have a lovely day and good luck with all your farming. Bye.